Join us! Join us!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Son of a bitch.
False start. Let's try again.
Levi, do the intro.
Let's try again. Stop the thing.
Live.
Restart. Come on, pal.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 103 of the Shadow Kvlt podcast. Only four of us here, myself, Ricky, Scott, and James. Walter not here this week, but
he's celebrating his IC title win.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. He is celebrating his IC title win. In a big way, might I say. But, episode 103, and we are at the third and final part of the 20 years of John Cena celebration on this show. As we are talking top 10 John Cena feuds. So, 2 months ago we did best one-on-one matches. Last month we did his worst one-on-one matches. Now we're talking his best feuds.
The greatest rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
He has had a lot.
Yeah.
So, figure without further ado, let's get into some honorable mentions. I have four honorable mentions. First, I think one of them, his more underrated rivals, Chris Jericho. Especially
Honorable mention.
Especially going back to when Cena first started in 2002, Cena's first program for a little bit was with Jericho leading up to Vengeance 2002 in a pretty good match, and Jericho putting Cena over huge in that match. And then feud again in 2005 over the WWE title. Yeah, this would be the beginning of Cena becoming polarizing because they decided to put Cena up against Jericho for reasons. But still, they had really damn good matches during the summer of 2005, and yeah, the feud in 2008, the short-lived run they had, kind of ruined Jericho's heel run at the end of that, because, But
Coming
still,
off a hot program with Shawn and then going straight into losing the belt. Mm-hmm. Not only once to Batista, but then he loses it to Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But still, them two together in the ring, they were able to put on some damn good matches. Next honorable mention, people are going to be shocked it's not in the top 10, but The Rock. I just think with The Rock, the 2-year feud from 2011 through 2013, I mean, great promos between the two, and of course, great match at 28, not so great at 29, but I just think he had better... But... What?
Keep talking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But
I haven't bored everyone yet. Go ahead.
But
everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. They're like assholes. We all have one.
Yep, and they all stink.
Okay.
Ah.
Anyways, but I mean, really good feud, but I think that he had better feuds.
You fucking Mark.
Personally, but it doesn't take away from the fact of how good it was for that 2-year run. So there you go with that. Next up, another underrated one, Eddie Guerrero.
Yep.
That 2003 U.S. title feud.
You're tapping Ricky. You're tapping
Honorable
Ricky.
mention.
Okay.
I got it too. Honorable mention.
I mean, simply put, parking lot brawl. What more can I say?
Oh, yeah.
And then finally, Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for their early portion of their feud, like in 2003 and 2004, really good matches between the two. 2009, on the other hand, not so much. But they're
in 2012.
Yeah, and then 2012. No, thank you. But I put Big Show in honorable mention simply because of their 03-04 stuff heading into Mania 20 and then ending at Mania 20. And those are my honorable mentions. Ricky.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 honorable mentions I have here on my list.
You have 2 top 10s?
Of course, one of them being Big Show. Of course, when Cena won the U.S. title from Big Show, one of his first, I guess, major big rivalries that he had. Later on to become the superstar he is. Another one, Bray Wyatt. I really enjoyed that rivalry at the beginning, leading up to WrestleMania 30. But I really liked enjoying the whole, Playhouse Bray thing that happened. I really enjoy that. Another one is Chris Jericho. They already mentioned about Chris Jericho. Eddie Guerrero, basically the Braun, pretty much. Wasn't what to say. I got Daniel Bryan because of the whole, because he needed to drop the belt to Bryan leading up to SummerSlam, and of course we know what happened with Bryan winning the belt, and then of course the Authority and all that. Another mention, Shawn Michaels, leading up to WrestleMania 23, and of course that amazing Raw match they had, almost an hour-long match, one of the greatest Raw matches in history. And last but not least, and a lot of people are gonna be shocked I have him honorable mention, Kurt Angle.
8. Number 8.
Doesn't feel that good, huh, Levi? Huh?
Does
It's just a real medicine.
Scott?
Wow.
Wow, I feel the tension in the air. Amazing. I just have 2 honorable mentions because honestly, my top 10, like 10 through 2, are like interchangeable, but my number 1 is number 1 for a reason. I'll get to that later on. But my honorable mentions, 2 of them, Eddie Guerrero, got that on there too. Parking Lot Brawl was one of the feuds, along with Jericho back in the day, that helped put Cena on the map as a viable new superstar to be on the lookout for. And I'm going to guess some of you guys probably this is a top 10, but there was a lot to pick from. And I have a feeling we're all going to be having a lot of the same names on our list because we can, there's so many to choose from. I also put JBL on my honorable mentions as well. Because, big, and there you go. So it's a big push for Cena into that main event status. The match at WrestleMania 21 and everything else there and everything thereafter and so forth. So you guys will talk more about it when we get into it. But yeah, definitely an honorable mention there for my list.
James.
I have 3 honorable mentions. The first one, his 2003 feud with The Undertaker. Really that old school, new school, really his first kind of main event-ish kind of program. Triple H over the WWE title throughout 2006, 2008. And then one that may not make top 10s, but I have to mention it for honorable mentions, Umaga. In 07.
I almost put that on there too.
Like that last man standing match at the Rumble. Like, want more to say? Those are 3 honorables.
All right, well, with the honorables out of the way, time for the top 10. My number 10.
10.
People are going to be shocked. People are going to be shocked that I have this one lower, but I have my reasons why it's at number 10, and that's Randy Orton. Oh, jeez.
Spit take.
Wow. Really?
Whoa,
number 1?
Wow.
Okay.
And
he wouldn't be alone because a lot of people think that as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're wrong, but no. I'm kidding.
There's no such thing as a wrong opinion, even if it is wrong.
It's even if it is wrong.
but anyways,
what the hell's going on here?
Let's get back on track. Damn it!
Bring it back.
But the reason I have Orton this low on the list is because after 2007, I wasn't as into the feud afterwards. Their 2007 stuff in the summer and the fall, really good stuff. Like the build up to the match at SummerSlam, Cena at the height of being a babyface world champion and Orton being built up through the punt and just fucking taking people out. And that brutal RKO on the chair on Saturday night's main event heading into SummerSlam. And then we get the great match at SummerSlam. Then Unforgiven, still really good. It's a shame that feud it's a shame it got put on ice after Cena tore his pectoral muscle in the match with Kennedy and had to surrender the belt. And then the feud in 2009, it was kind of a mixed bag. It was like, like the match at SummerSlam, The I Quit match, good. Hell in a Cell, no. The Iron Man match, great match. Then they continued on in 2013 with a really good TLC match, and then again in 2014, and that was really where it just kind of bottomed out for me. So it just felt like it would never end, but it just peaks and valleys, which is why I have Orton this low on the list. But still memorable feud, even if not everybody was into all their matches. It's like half were good, half were okay, essentially. Ricky?
My number 10 is actually probably one that people might have, but to me it was a really good feud. Nexus / Wade Barrett.
Mm-mm.
Now
No.
let me explain why. Now
opinion
when the Nexus,
again, remember opinion.
now when the Nexus started, of course there was this dominant force that of course they destroy the ring, destroy Cena. I was into it. I was like, what's gonna happen next week? It really got me more into Raw. And of course, it started the whole feud with WWE and all that. And of course, we're going to SummerSlam, of course, which I still say to this day, I've said it. Nexus should have gone over. And of course, we know the story that Wade Barrett said. And then, of course, Cena joins Nexus or was forced to join Nexus. You remember, kids, when David Otunga and Cena were tag team champions? Because I sure do.
No.
For that great 24 hours. The greatest 24 hours of all time. With such memorable defenses against Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel.
Yeah, but the reason I like that bit of period was because, if Cena wouldn't do what Wade Barrett told him to do, he was going to get fired. And of course, Cena loves WWE, that to the quote-unquote fired. But in storyline-wise, he would do anything to stay in WWE because he loves WWE. That's his passion. And of course, that leads up to the whole, Randy Wade Barrett match at Survivor Series. That of course, Cena being the special guest referee, and of course, Cena being fired. Of course, the farewell speech he gave, which was kind of fitting. Of course, it happens, and then Cena comes back. And yes, I know the burial in TLC with the chairs and all that. That was like an instant burial, but it's I don't want to say underrated, but something fans should look up more, in my opinion.
Scott?
My number 10 is Kevin Owens.
I know.
Did you forget?
Did you forget? I forgot.
Okay. Well, there you go. Talk about it now with me. Because matches, come on.
3 consecutive match of the year candidates.
Exactly. I mean, did you ever think Kevin Steen versus John Cena was ever going to happen?
And not even that. That'd be Steen's first program on the main roster.
While NXT champion.
Yeah.
And it's like, probably, yes, Sammy getting hurt. Probably the catalyst for the desperate, Hugh. Why him? He looks good, but he's NXT champion. Don't care. We need him now. All right. And instantly gets Kevin over. And that's another part of a running theme with some of the guys on my list and probably on everyone else's list is guys that John Cena helped elevate and really put on the map himself. Because he had all those people, all the other names we just mentioned, like so far JBL, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, The Undertaker, Kurt Angle eventually I think was mentioned too in an honorable mention. All those guys were established, helped to make John. Then it's the test of John Cena. Can you make people? And to say that John Cena made Kevin Owens is a definitive statement that can be said on the main roster. So yeah, definitely. I mean, again, like my list here, 10-2, you could bounce these all around, but that's where I have Kevin on my list. Doesn't mean it's the worst one or anything like that. It's still a great feud, great rivalry, great matches. Everything about it was fantastic.
And on top of that, it helped get new eyes on NXT at that time, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
More legitimacy for that brand.
James?
My number 10 is John Bradshaw Layfield. Cena's crowning achievement, becoming the WWE champion. He needed a great heel to work with. You can say whatever you want. JBL was the right heel. I know people want to complain about his title run and this and that, but he had enough heat to where you wanted to see John kick his ass and take the belt. And he did. Then they have that awesome I Quit match the following month at Judgment Day. Then they feuded off and on throughout 08 and 09. over the world heavyweight title and other non-title related stuff. But just a great overall feud. And just for the I Quit match alone from Judgment Day, that's why it's on this list.
On to number 9. My number 9. James already brought up an honorable mention. Umaga. I mean, Umanga. The most underrated Cena feud, I think, because it was like, it was only like a 2-month program, but man, it's like the only thing I would change, and I think all of us can agree, non-title at New Year's Revolution, then do the Last Man Standing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or just forget New Year's Revolution and just do the match at the Rumble.
Yeah. But either way, like, that Last Man Standing match is what makes this feud the feud it is. I mean, 2 months of Umaga just beating the shit out of John. John pulls off a fluke win at New Year's Revolution, hence credence to Last Man Standing, and then Cena had to dig fucking deep and choke Umaga out with the fucking ring ropes just to even put the guy down.
Yeah, it's like he won, but it didn't look like he freaking won.
No, he didn't.
No.
He had to give everything. He had to go to a different side of himself, if you will, storyline-wise.
Yes, exactly. And that's my number 9. Ricky?
My number 9, James mentioned it, JBL. I mean, their infamous I Quit match, probably one of the best I Quit matches I've ever seen in a long time. Of course, Cena coming out in crimson, coming holding both belts at the same time. That's an image alone that to me it's always stand out when it comes to JBL. Sure, the WrestleMania match could have been a bit better, but it was the catalyst of Cena saying, it's time for finally to become the star that he's supposed to be. And, their off-and-off rivalry in 2008, around there. Of course, I remember the infamous when Cena and Crime Time vandalized JBL's limo.
CTC.
I've always liked that. But yeah, I mean, JBL, for at the time, I mean, yeah, he was the perfect heel. Not perfect heel, but in terms of he had the most heat in the SmackDown.
Which makes him the perfect heel.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got the most heat, you're the perfect heel.
Pretty much. So, yeah, my number 9, JBL.
Scott?
My number 9 is Brock Lesnar.
7.
8.
Don't tell me you forgot Brock, too.
Yes.
Wow.
What? You
Shame.
forget Owens and you forget...
Shame.
Hey,
Shame on this man. Shame.
100 Hail Hunters in the corner, young Levi.
Continue.
You can start now, and then maybe we'll finish in time. But yeah, I mean, again, like I said with Kevin Owens, Kevin helped make Kevin Owens. Cena helped make Brock the monster that we knew him to become. It was that reintroduction of Brock with Cena after WrestleMania. I think it was after WrestleMania. And they have that back and forth. They have the big pull apart, the bleeding, just everything about that leading up to the match where 25 Germans, whatever it was, 27, the number's out there on the internet. Look it up for you, so go ahead. And just all that work that John did to make Brock look like that monster. And, they would have payback and go, not payback the show, excuse me, but there would be, other matches that would happen in the feud as well that just kept things going. But still, at the end, even though John may win, Brock still comes out looking great. And that's another great aspect of the rivalry and the business that they did. So it was my number 9 for you. It's Brock Lesnar.
And let's not forget their short 1-month program in 2003 for the title when Cena was heel and Brock was babyface.
Yeah, I did forget that. As a matter of fact, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Quite frankly, most people forget that because it was only a month. People remember the night after WrestleMania 28 all the way to
Extreme Rules
whenever.
And then SummerSlam 2014. But yeah. James?
My number 9, Scott already brought it up, Kevin Owens. He fucking made him in one program. And all these years later, he's still a top guy.
Main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
With Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Another thing you never thought you'd see.
Kevin Steen and Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Steen Austin.
Yeah, Steen Austin, yes.
Of all people, who would have thought, The Rock, Triple H. Evan
Mhm.
Steen?
Yeah. Just one of those things like you did not ever think. Me, Walter, I remember back having conversations like, dude, WWE, they're thinking about signing Steen. No, they won't. He doesn't have the look. They don't want him. He can't do it. Ate a lot of crow on that one. So,
Number 8.
there you go. I knew he was building it up on that one.
I was trying. But my number 8, Seth Rollins.
Honorable mention.
Their 2015 matches, whether it was the triple threat with Brock at the Rumble or their matches on Raw, SummerSlam, and Night of Champions, holy shit, these two had amazing chemistry in the ring. Especially their SummerSlam and Night of Champions matches over, well, SummerSlam over both the WWE and US titles. Yeah, you had Jon Stewart in there for reasons, but aside from that, the match was still amazing. And then,
your call.
And then Night of Champions for the US title. During the night, Rollins had to have 2 matches at one night. Everything these two did was magical, despite Jon Stewart, and then also Cena getting his nose broke. But aside from that, fucking love this feud. My number 8.
I wish they would go back to have one more match. Now
Yes.
that all these years later, they haven't touched since.
Yeah, they haven't touched since Night of Champions 2015, which is very strange.
But Cena's pretty much been part-time ever since, so...
Yeah. Ricky?
My number 8, Brock Lesnar. I mean, and there's one thing that I forgot to mention. I mean, Cena kind of stole his FU from the F5 from Brock Lesnar.
That's why he called it the FU, because...
F5 FU,
yeah. Exactly. I was like, didn't he steal it? But anyway, of course, when Brock came back after WrestleMania 28 from UFC, and of course, the crowd went crazy because, we had Brock back for almost, for 8 years, 7-8 years since he was in WWE ever since.
It was 8 years.
And of course, the infamous brawl they had on Monday Night Raw, where they had to get the entire locker room separate.
One punch and he's bleeding.
Cena bleeding. I mean, to that point, I've never seen that on TV in Raw, and I was like, is this a shoot? Is this actually for real? For real?
Brock, it's for real. I'm not an entertainer. I'm an ass kicker. I'm Brock Lesnar.
And then, of course, their match at Extreme Rules, which a phenomenal match. Yeah, of course, Cena went over, kind of teaching a bit Brock and Lesnar, like, if WWE, here's your pay, here's your punishment. But that didn't, hurt Brock, because, I mean, of course, he broke the streak. He became the monster he is right now. Of course, hell, he gave Cena,
16 suplexes.
Suplexes to Suplex City, bitch. And that still made him an amazing monster. I mean, come on, it's Brock fucking Lesnar. Probably one of the biggest attractions at the moment. But yeah, that's my number 8.
Scott?
My number 8, well, let's see if Levi forgot this one. Chances are, though, I think you have this on your list. Knowing you the way I do.
Or what if he doesn't?
If he doesn't, he's going back in that corner. He's doing 200.
200 Hail Hunters.
Batista. Okay. He didn't forget that
Thank God.
Thank God for that one. So, since you have it more ahead than I do, I won't pontificate on too much. But yeah, both guys made each other. It's the OVW class that is so successful. 2 of the 4 right here. 2 of the 4 pillars, if you will. If you want to call it that, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Batista. That's right there. All due respect to Shelton Benjamin. But, these guys help make each other. And if it was not for these 2 men, we wouldn't have got Vince tearing both quads. Multiverse. Multiverse.
For that.
And for that alone, for that moment alone, it deserves to be in the top 10.
James?
My number 8 is Kurt Angle. John's debut was against Kurt. And even in defeat, there was like, you know what? This John Cena, there might be something there. Then you fast forward a year when John is on the rise as the rapper, as the doctor of thugonomics, and they have a really good feud and a hell of a match at No Mercy. Then you fast forward a couple of more years. John's the WWE champion. Kurt's the challenger. They have some really good matches over the WWE title. Just some great stuff between these two. Great multi-year feud off and on. My number 8.
Not to mention the rap battle. I may suck, but you best blow.
Oh, and the midget John Cena.
Oh god, that made me remember the second rap battle. Kurt was John Cena. He had a midget Kurt Angle, and he's submitting to the ankle lock. And that was the build towards No Mercy. Or in the second rap battle where Kurt's like, you know what, I'm not going to rap, I'm going to tell you a story. There once was a kid who liked to talk a lot of smack. He's actually whiter than me, but he thinks he's black. And he liked to walk around wearing a steel chain. I'll shove it straight up your ass if you try and use it again. I wish he would have said again like Jericho.
Yeah,
that would have been
sense,
funny.
yeah.
But
that would have been funny.
Yeah. But to number 7, Scott just said in his number 8, it's Batista. I could not have him on the list. I mean, yeah, Scott said they made each other, and still I used this point over and over again when talking about when these two had matches. For two quote-unquote bad workers, they put on amazing matches. Fucking SummerSlam 08, despite Cena's neck, put on a fantastic
Batista got
match.
injured in that match, too.
Yeah. And then their series in 2010 over to WWE title, WrestleMania, then the I Quit match. And
you're out there kissing babies, hugging fat girls. I'm winning world titles.
During that
you think I won't quit? You think I won't quit?
And I can't remember. I can't remember if it was their match at Extreme Rules or Over the Limit where the kids, I hate you, Batista. I hate you too.
Extreme Rules.
You had the duct tape?
Yes.
It was Extreme Rules.
I mean, all their matches were really good to outstanding throughout their on and off program. But yeah, my number 7, Batista. And yes, without them, Vince would not have torn his quads.
Both quads. Yep.
He tore both quads.
And he refused
eating worlds on the way to the ring.
And he refused help, and so he could walk to his car, his limo, to go to the hospital to get his torn quads.
In another multiverse,
he has a boat called the Sexy Bitch.
Yes.
In another multiverse, they did the whole Rumble again. Just to let you know.
Damn it! Restart it, Pewter. You're getting chopped even more.
Imagine if that happened another hour. Jeez.
I just started healing. Ah, shit! Pour salt over the wounds and then chop again.
Wow. And then turn around and start chopping the back. You got more body to work with.
That's what you get for trying to shoot on Kurt Angle.
Oh my god! I'm working.
Multiverse. Daniel Pewter actually breaks Kurt Angle's arm.
Oh god!
Oh my god! Yeah, it got made. Yeah, then they hired Tank Abbott to take him out.
But that's for another episode down the road.
Another time. Yeah.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Number 7, Ricky.
7.
Levi, I'm sorry. I know you have this one higher in your list, and knowing you, I know you have it higher. Mr. TNA himself, AJ Styles.
3.
Yeah, I knew it. I mean, if you would have told me years ago that John Cena and AJ Styles were gonna have a one-on-one match for the world title in San Antonio,
you would have called them nuts. Yes,
I would have called them nuts because it was like, there's no way AJ's ever leaving TNA. Lo and behold, I mean, come on, that was everyone's wet ass dream, Mr. TNA versus the face of WWE
versus Mr. WWE.
Exactly.
AJ wrestling for the WWE title. You're crazy.
Never gonna happen.
Exactly. I mean, who would have thought that was ever gonna happen?
It's too small. He can't cut a promo.
I mean, come on. I mean,
Mhm.
that match was so phenomenal. Not to mention the previous matches before. I mean, it's AJ. I mean, I know you guys will talk about more about it, so move along.
Scott?
My number 7, I'm with Ricky, AJ Styles. Just like you said, it's phenomenal. No pun intended. Just the series of matches. Hey, there you go. Yeah, the series of matches, the chemistry they have, just how they just instant chemistry there. It's like, yeah, get in the ring, let's just have some fun. And we're just going to do stupid shit. Crowd's going to love it. And it's just going to be so easy. Because it was. And it was just easy to get into it because, like you said, it was never supposed to happen. And when that does happen, it's like, okay, I know I'm going to love this. Go for it. And there's nothing else you can do. Just hit it. It was like with Owens. So, yeah, that's my 7 too.
James?
My number 7's already been mentioned before, but Brock Lesnar. I mean, the whole catalyst of the feud, Brock F5ing Cena into the post. That's why when he came back from the injury, he started calling his finisher the FU. They do their match in 03, but then the stuff in 2012, you fast forward a couple of years later, John makes Brock. I mean, all those years of having John be the guy, did you ever think anyone would ever squash him on pay-per-view?
Mm-hmm.
In a world title match on a Big Four.
Yeah.
That was a big fucking deal.
The old Super Cena myth.
It was the death of Super Cena.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you look at it from a kayfabe perspective, John's never been the same since.
Right.
No, he hasn't.
Yep.
But
He humanized him.
He made Brock into the biggest attraction right now in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Or was until Roman became the tribal chief. But
That's true.
Yeah.
regardless, the Brock Lesnar feud was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6. My number 6 is
The number of the beast, hell and fire was sworn to be released.
My number 6 has already been mentioned. JBL. I mean, it was the feud that made Cena into a main event star, winning the title at Mania 21, and then the classic I Quit match. Enough said. Ricky.
My number 6, it's The Rock. I never thought in a million years we would ever get this match. Because at the time, Rock was the biggest star in Hollywood. And I'm like, he's never coming back to WWE. You know, it was one of those fantasy matches, kind of like when Rock and Hogan. That was a fantasy match everyone
Don't call
wanted
me
to see.
The Rock, call me Dwayne.
Until we got the match. And again, I never thought, this was what, 2012?
12.
2011, 2012, around that era, I was like maybe 16 at the time. I was like, there's no way they were going to have this match until they, of course, build it up to the WrestleMania 28 match, which I never thought I was ever going to see that. It's kind of like seeing, this is not really a comparison, kind of like Andre Hogan in a way, not really, but the same energy, the same
dynamic. Same dynamic,
Yes.
different generation. Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course. Me being a huge Cena fan at the time, growing up watching The Rock live, which, it just made perfect sense. Of course, the WrestleMania 29 match, I still say it should have been a triple threat with Punk. They could have made the whole thing, but, regardless, number 6, The Rock.
Scott.
I don't hate you, John. I hate this idea that you're the best. Because you're not. I'm the best. I'm the best in the world. CM Punk.
2.
Number 3.
Three.
Number 2. Another number 2, yes. Because, again, made Punk. It established Punk as the top guy. That one promo in Las Vegas, boom. People started talking about him more than ever. People wanted to see him more often. He started getting a lot more exposure on the company. Started getting that top tier run, and yes, we get Money in the Bank. When we did the top 10 greatest matches of John Cena, that was on there very highly for everybody. So, again, made Punk. Help make him even bigger than he was within the paradigm of the WWE and the WWE universe. So it was It was bringing
which in
him to that
turn
next
made
level.
him bigger in the wrestling world.
There you go.
Yes.
Why he's making so much money right now with Tony Khan. So don't tell
You
me
wonder
that
why.
he's not
And you
making the
wonder
money he was
why.
making now if that doesn't happen. So, multiverse, take that away. Guess what?
Another multiverse, the pipe bomb never happened.
Mm.
Funny enough.
Yep.
I don't think the
What happened?
landscape of wrestling would have been like maybe like MJF would have been the big superstar he is right now. I mean, the domino effect.
James.
My number 6 is Kevin Federline. Their great all-time feud leading to New Year's Day Raw and that awesome match where Kevin went over. He made
James,
Kevin
James,
Federline.
It was
James.
30 stars. It was 30 stars according to Meltzer.
No, my
First
number
patrol,
6 is
first patrol.
my number 6 has already been talked about. Batista, their career. This is the feud that him and Orton should have been. The parallel careers. They both win world titles at WrestleMania. They don't touch until SummerSlam. Have that great match. Then they don't touch again until 2010 and had some really great matches there. But yeah, number 6, the Batista feud.
Now into the top 5. My number 5, the Great Khali.
Okay, now
You're not even trying.
I couldn't keep a straight
You're
face.
mucking around.
Okay, at least I freaking tried. You just ripped me off like you always do.
Ah! Ah!
Wow.
Ah!
Bang, bang. Shots fired. Shots fired. Wow. That's heat. That's heat. I better leave. I'm getting out of here now. God damn.
Anyway,
That was
Levi, who's your real number 5?
Fucking Shaggy 2-Dope over here dropping the heat bombs. Jesus Christ.
Whoop whoop. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even think I need to say anything at this point. Damn. I just got
Hey,
burned.
look, around here we gotta bust each other's balls every so often. So
Absolutely. It's all good. It's all good. It's all,
I
nothing but
couldn't
love.
resist.
Nothing but
I
love.
couldn't resist a good burn. But my number
Burn
5.
it down.
Your number five.
My number 5 is Shawn Michaels. I mean,
Ooh, ooh.
2007, everything they did that year. Mania 23, fucking one of the best main events in Mania history. Of course, the greatest match in Raw history. Just a
all
couple
thanks to
weeks
Triple
later.
H tearing his quad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Multiverse.
What?
Triple H doesn't tear his quad.
Neither does Kevin Nash.
Wow. Okay, now if Kevin Nash doesn't no. If Kevin Nash doesn't tear his quad, we don't get Triple H and Shawn at SummerSlam. Because that was supposed to be Triple H and Kevin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Imagine
There you go.
fucking that.
There
But
you
then
go.
we got that match later on with.
Yeah, they got the Hell in a Cell no one wanted to see but them.
Yeah.
We're off subject, damn it.
And then of course they would have on and off matches in 2008 and 2009 that were just as great. So on and off for roughly 3 years between Cena and Shawn. Awesome stuff. Ricky.
My number 5, James mentioned it, Batista. Of course, the parallels, both win the world titles at WrestleMania. They were touching each other until like 2008 when they won the tag team titles, which for a while I was like, really? Tag team champions for a bit. But then again, of course, their feud at their match at SummerSlam with Cena broke his neck. I was like, is Cena going to come back from this? Because then again, this is Super Cena we're talking about, people. And of course,
Came back earlier in the year after like 3 months away.
and then of course the WrestleMania 26 match, the build-up, of course, Extreme Rules, the duct tape, over the limit, getting thrown out of cars, the I Quit match. I mean, in terms of rivals, like in modern day rivals, Batista was, like I said, almost the perfect parallel. Almost the perfect parallel. Yeah, that's my number 5.
Scott.
My number 5 is maybe one out. Probably, I don't know if anyone else is going to have this as high up as I have it on because nobody else has mentioned it yet, but I'll say it because I think it was good. Triple H. I think the
Honorable.
Triple H
I had
feud-
mine honorable.
Honorable mention. There you go. Oh, we have another one over here. Okay, cool. yeah, I mean, the return, everything leading up to WrestleMania, main event WrestleMania. A thing for me is kind of, you have main event WrestleMania and you have a feud with a WrestleMania main event that kind of puts it like kind of high, if you will. So that's just one of my parameters I was looking at. But, Royal Rumble return, I was there. All things leading up to it. And again, great work between these guys. Easy chemistry, more slower pace. We went over this before with the WrestleMania match. But, it was another way of developing John as a worker, as a leader, as a ring general, that he could go on to later on and have those matches with Kevin Owens and make him, have those matches with AJ Styles, make him, have those matches with Batista and help each other, help match with Brock and so forth. So, because in order to get over, you got to get somebody to put you over. And that's what Triple H was doing with John, helping to elevate him to that next level so he could go on to create more stars. So, again, great feud, great rivalry.
James.
My number 5 is Randy Orton. I mean, if you're talking to people within WWE, they're going to have this at number 1. Because WWE wants to make this one of the all-time greatest feuds in company history. And, I mean, yeah, some of their matches, they've had the running joke is they've had a bunch of them, but they've had some really good ones. They've had some not good ones. But just, they are... the ultimate good guy, the ultimate bad guy. I wish they would have had a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. The closest we got was that 3-way. It should have been them one-on-one. And quite honestly, John's last match maybe should be against Orton at WrestleMania one-on-one. I mean, Mania 40. WrestleMania 40. Do that match.
Yep.
I know, yes. John Cena, Randy. They haven't had a match in how many years?
Almost 8.
Exactly.
Since Hell in a Cell 2014.
It really do the one-on-one match at WrestleMania when both guys are pretty much at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Now to number 4. My number 4, Ricky mentioned it earlier than probably should have, but AJ Styles. I mean, yeah, Mr. TNA versus Mr. WWE. Who would have thought this would ever happen? Especially all the years of watching TNA like I did and seeing how great AJ
I
was.
knew because I know everything. I knew they would wrestle. In my mind, they wrestled.
It's the greatest feud I'd ever seen up until that moment. It's no longer collectible. Don't try to change me, baby.
Oh my god! But like seeing, like thinking in my head as I was watching AJ and TNA, it's like, wonder how he would do if he was in WWE. And then after he's gone from TNA, comes over Rumble 2016. It's like it's only a matter of time, and like fucking 6 months later, we get their match at Money in the Bank, and then SummerSlam. And then the classic at the Rumble in 2017. I mean, these two fed off each other so well. The promos were great. The matches were outstanding. Nothing more, nothing less. Ricky.
My number 4, Scott already mentioned it, Triple H. I mean, what more can say? What?
Scott?
My number 4 has already been mentioned. Shawn Michaels. Because, like you said, WrestleMania 23, the match on Raw in England. Another case. Okay, you got to work with Triple H the year before. Now you're going to work with the top guy in the clique and see how you fed it with that. Remember the old days with the clique? It was like you started with the company with Kidd, then you started working with Hall, then you worked your way up to either Shawn or Kevin. And same thing you're seeing here with the development of John Cena as a performer too. Start with Triple H the year before, work up to Shawn after that, and then you start making stars after that, and so forth. So, yeah, nothing more need to be said. It's fantastic.
James?
My number 4 is The Rock. If we are going on the Al Snow scale of what draws the most money is number 1, this would be number 1 by a country mile, because of all the programs John has had, this drew the most money. This drew the most tickets. This has drawn, 2 WrestleManias, both one over 1 million buys, one near 1 million buys, both 70,000 plus fans. First, both. One was a great match, but regardless, in terms of the business this feud did, this is easily top 5.
Well then, I guess I'll go fuck myself then.
Dude, I'm just, it's all opinions.
I know, but still, I feel like I
Levi,
should be.
not here.
I feel
Levi,
like I
not
should
here.
chop my nuts off for not putting it higher on.
Levi,
You're gonna do it.
there's-
Don't do it on here. It's against TOS. You can't do it.
There's other websites for that, Levi. Okay.
OnlyFans. OnlyFans. Do it on here.
No, that would
Make
break
a
their
snuff film
TOS
out of
too.
it. Make a snuff film out of it. and
That's a
sell
nutty.
for it
That's a
like-
nutty idea right there. It's a nutty idea. You gotta have balls to do something like that. Man.
Hey, Levi, got any nuts?
Mm.
Got nuts?
Suck on D's nuts.
Oh.
Hey,
Hey,
suck
we
on
took it
these
from
nuts.
Mm-hmm.
John
Carlito,
Cena
you
throws
ain't
bag up.
cool. You're just some sort of chia pet putz. And instead of spitting out apples, you should be choking on these nuts.
D's nuts.
Oh.
All right, number 3.
Number three, it's been mentioned many times already. Kurt Angle. I mean, Cena's first feud. Well, first match with Kurt.
First match.
And then the stuff in 2003, the rap battles, the promos. Even their on and off matches in 2004 were really good. Like No Way Out 2004, they had a really damn good one. And then, like, I think that was a triple threat with Big Show, but I digress.
No, that was a one-on. Yeah, it was a triple threat.
Yeah, no,
They had a
it was,
one-on-one
No Way Out
the next
05.
year.
Oh, No Way
Yeah.
Out 05 was what I was thinking of.
You were right on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, just off by a year, but regardless. And then there's stuff later in 2005 for the title. I mean, can anybody name a bad Kurt Cena match? Nope, didn't think so.
I saw a bad one in Albuquerque, New Mexico at that house show in 2005 because I see everything.
You don't see shit. House shows don't matter.
Hey, I am Douchey McNitpick and I will nitpick over everything.
Douchey That pops. Douchey McNitpick.
And cut.
And scene.
Douchey McNitpick. That's a new one. Anyways,
Wow.
Ricky, go on before I.
That's a great one. I'd like to write that shit down. Somebody clip that, please.
Please keep it. My number
Tremendous.
3. My number 3 is Ryback.
Shut up.
Okay, one troll is one thing. Levi trying to troll is another, and then you trying to troll. Well,
Because I was gonna do that one next.
Fine,
Now you
I was thinking, I
Another
gotta
one.
troll. I gotta figure out somebody to troll. Oh,
Okay,
fuck Ryback. And then fucking Ricky does it. Get out of my head, Ricky.
Johnny
I had to
Ace.
let that one go. Fine. My number 3 is John Laurinaitis. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, just because I said it.
Just because he said it, yeah.
Okay, no, but seriously, number 3, CM Punk. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the pipe bomb. Cena was what the catalyst for the pipe bomb too. That made him go out of nowhere. Of course, they're matching Money in the Bank, which is probably the greatest Cena match that he has ever had, and the crowd was hot. Punk was hot. I mean, when was the last time before that? I think it was we mentioned before when Cena went into the crowd. Everyone started booing him. Of course, the whole RVD thing. But after that, when was the last time that has ever happened? Not that I remember, but that match made Punk. Of course, we mentioned Cena. The majority of the people in this list that we mentioned, Cena has helped create stars. And on that night, Cena made Punk. And of course, let's say the rest is history.
Scott.
My number 3, already been mentioned, I think, by everybody. And Levi used the exact words I wrote down in my notes. A never-ending feud. Randy Orton. Because that's what it was. And like you said, they could go back to that today. Like we were talking about before. WrestleMania 40. One last time. Main event. WrestleMania. Career versus career. However they do it, winner take all. If there's a title on the line, fine, doesn't need it, but it's a feud that made both guys. Two of the pillars, like we talked about before from OVW, made each other in their matches they had. Yes, some good, some bad, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. And it helps develop both guys. They could go back to it today if they wanted to, if they could, if both guys were around. But yeah, it's a never-ending feud that helped make both guys the established Hall of Famers that they're bound to be.
James.
My number 3's already been mentioned, but AJ Styles. Yes, AJ was a known commodity throughout the internet wrestling community, but in terms of mainstream wrestling fans, they may not all have known what AJ Styles did for the decade plus beforehand. He comes to WWE, works with Cena. Cena puts him over not once, not twice, 3 times before he finally beats him. But just great stuff. That SummerSlam match, one of the best matches in SummerSlam history. Just great overall stuff between these two. And another program they could go back to today, and it'd still be good.
All right, number 2. We're going to save Ricky's number 2 for when we get to our number 1s, because I feel like Scott, James, and I all have the same number 1.
I think there's one big name left that nobody's mentioned yet.
Yeah.
And
I'll just mention my number 1 right now. My number
Go
1
ahead.
is Randy Orton. The reason I haven't run number 1 is because, the non-ending rivalry. I mean, these two guys, same thing with Brock Lesnar, same thing with Batista. All due respect to Shelton Benjamin, broke into the business at the same time. That all classic OVW class of, I think it was the 02, 01 class, one of those classes.
02. Mm-hmm.
They started the business together. Of course, Cena and Orton were I think it started both on SmackDown, if I remember correctly, around there. And they never actually met. Well, started feuding until 2006, 2007, around there.
Well, their first match, I believe, was the Eddie Guerrero tribute show.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Holy
the Eddie Tribute Raw was their first one-on-one match.
Yep.
I mean, I don't remember, but anyway, I mean, that rivalry, of course, I'm trying to get my words. English motherfucker.
Do you speak it?
You speak it! Say what again? Say what again?
I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say one more goddamn time.
One more goddamn... What?
What?
Does he look like a bitch?
A bitch. but honestly, I mean, of course, Randy, Cena. I mean, it's like almost. I don't want to say Batman and Joker. That's a different person that we're gonna mention later. More like a What's the best comparison I can post put him? Like maybe. I don't know, Luger, Superman. I guess that's the best way I can say it. Without one, there's not the other. But regardless, that's my reason why Randy's my number 1. Now, of course,
2 hour number 2s. My number 2 is CM Punk. It
yeah,
had to be
same
number
with me.
2
So we might as well talk about it right now.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So like, I mean, they had
my number 2. I think is my number 2 is I think your guy's number 1.
Oh boy. but yeah, like they had on and off matches in the couple years prior to their big stuff in 2011 going forward. But yeah, 2011, the pipe bomb, one of the best matches in company history, had Money in the Bank 2011. Then we fast forward a year, they have one of the best matches in Raw history at Raw 1000. Then they put on another classic at Night of Champions.
And then the Raw.
2012.
I think you. One of the best matches in Raw history was February 2013. The winner faces The Rock.
Faced The Rock. The last time you saw the pile driver used on WWE television.
Yeah.
Because they were both at the point in there.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
you hadn't seen the pile driver in forever.
They paid for that. They paid money for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they
were
both
we're doing it.
They were both at the point, it's like, or what? You'll fire us? Ha 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 ha.
I think in Punk's case, it's like, what are you going to do? Fire me? It'll be a blessing.
They'll fine me $5,000. Big deal. That's what
John's like, you don't got the balls to do anything to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their playful
my
friendship
beer.
behind the scenes. They're like, Punk, you probably don't have the balls to power drive me. Oh yeah? Let's go out there and find out. Boom!
Hey, there's a hockey game. You want to bet $1? Okay. There's that famous picture of John giving Punk $1.
Which is funny, like, people think these two, like, shoot-wise hate each other. No, they're good friends.
No,
They're good friends
fine.
backstage.
Jesus.
I mean, that picture, it's like, holy shit, they're fucking cool pals.
It's like Punk was friends with a lot of people that you think, oh god, he hates them. It's like him and him and Batista were friends.
Yes. Yep. Him and the Rocker buds. That Rock tried to call him that one night on
He
Los
did
Angeles.
call him and got his voicemail.
He didn't get him though. Because he was stuck in the freaking elevator with his dog. He couldn't get the call. But yeah, so he tried to call him, and he's like, "Why the Dwayne's calling me? This is fucking weird."
Yeah.
So yeah, they're cool, people. They're cool. We keep telling you this. They're all cool. They're laughing at you behind your backs. You fucking internet marks.
Exactly.
You fucking Mark! Fire me!
Fire me!
Yep.
Fire! Cut.
What?
You're done. But yeah, James, any more to elaborate?
I mean, just having some of the best matches in company history, the realness involved in it. Like, they made you feel like Punk was shooting on John when he was talking about, you think you're the best, but you're not. I'm the best. And whenever they make you feel something real, it's like, everything else on the show, it is what it is. This is real.
That's real.
Mm-hmm.
The title matches, they're all shoot.
Yeah. But Bruno's real.
Yeah.
And Cena, you've become what you've hated. You have become the New York Yankees.
New York Yankees. Bam.
And I'm just waiting for, when the inevitable MJF Punk title program, when MJF drops a line like that, like, you've now become the New York Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Decked in the face.
You're the sellout now.
Scott?
My number 2. 2 words. Old hat. Who knows the reference? Anybody know the reference? Because that's what John Cena called this man whenever they wrestled. Because their chemistry was always the best. Edge.
Uno.
See? Told you. See? Told you. Because they had the best chemistry. Of all these people, let's face it, the matches, you guys are going to go more in detail here in a moment. But yeah, the chemistry between these two guys was always just right there, knew what each other was doing, a lot of trust. Set up 2 tables, F you through 2 tables. There's a lot of trust between these guys.
Yeah.
A lot of respect between these guys.
Choking almost somebody.
Mm-hmm.
The ladder.
Yeah, knocking somebody out. Yeah, and again, this is like we said with Orton, like we said with AJ. This is another one that we could have happening right now, and
We really
everyone would
could.
love it.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone
They
would love
haven't
it and be
touched
right
in
back
over
into it.
15 years.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
they
no. They had
They
their
haven't
stuff in
touched since
09.
20
Oh, nine.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
They haven't
09,
had
but
a match
that's
since
still almost
2010.
15.
Yeah.
That's still almost 15 years. Holy
So
shit.
that's my number 2. I'll leave it to you guys now to give your number 1. Ricky already gave his, so you guys go ahead and talk about your number 1. Then I'll do my number 1 after.
Well,
that. Because
Ricky's
my
number 2.
Number 2 is
Yeah.
Edge
Oh,
as
Ricky.
well.
Edge. There you go.
Yeah, so this is the perfect combination of Batman and Joker. To me, Edge is one of the best heels the company has ever seen in a long time. I mean, their matches. When can you name a bad Edge Cena match?
Right.
You can't.
Mhm.
Of course, their infamous TLC match at Unforgiven in Edge's home country, and I think it was in Montreal or
It was Toronto. It was his
Toronto.
hometown.
I mean, to the point that Edge tries so hard not to get all excited because it's his
Not to
hometown.
get
can't help
mushy.
Hometown main
Mhm.
event as the WWE champion. That's what he'd dream about ever since he was in the 6th row of WrestleMania 6.
Yeah. Exactly.
And of course, I mean, when Edge cashed in the Money in the Bank at New Year's Revolution, becoming the WWE champion, of course, the spinner belt and everything happened afterwards. And of course, like I said, the Batman and Joker. That's what I always think of when Cena and Edge, Batman and Joker.
Yeah, it's a thing. Started with that cash in at New Year's Revolution 06, and the last match these two had was on Raw in 2010. And it was the match where afterwards Edge tore up the anonymous GM laptop.
I'm sick of this tire. Beep, beep, beep.
I'm sick of everything stupid.
Edge, what are you doing?
I'm not going to stand here and have an argument with an overgrown speak and spell.
But no, just... And then, of course, the build-up to SummerSlam where he goes to John's home, slaps Cena Sr.
Fucking dad.
Down goes Cena!
Oh
Down goes Cena!
Oh, Cena!
Oh god, then the story
and the
tells
story
about
behind that.
Yeah,
the story behind the
they go
production
to
of that.
Yeah, right
God.
afterwards. Yeah, right after they film that, Edge and Lita go to a pizza place and he gets food poisoning. Only time he ever had food poisoning. He's like, yeah, Cena's town got me that day. And then house show, oh god, can anybody tell? I'm clenching my ass cheeks. 25 minutes later, and Lita, ha ha ha, you fucking asshole. Next day, look in the footage. Oh, goddamn, pal.
This
The worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Bruce, you produced this.
Fix it.
What the fuck? Oh, hey, goddamn, Adam, you're just gonna have to ad-lib over this whole thing.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Down goes Cena. Down goes Cena. And yeah, the TLC match, arguably the best one-on-one TLC match of all time. And even their stuff in 09, yeah, despite the storyline in 09 being fucking dumb with Vicky, but still they delivered a hell of a last man standing match that ended with one of the craziest spots in recent memory, the chokeslam through the spotlight.
And WrestleMania 25 should have been one-on-one Cena and Edge.
It really should have. It really should have.
And quite frankly, it should have been Cena Edge at WrestleMania 22.
Yeah. Really, really
like, Edge had the great hardcore match with Mick Foley, but Edge had earned that main event that year because he was the hottest heel in the company, and if you're the biggest heel in the company, you should be in one of the top spots.
And I got 2 words for you. That frickin' Hardy!
3 words.
Wait, that's
3 words.
That's 3 words. And not to mention, we talked about before, when he cashed in and won the belt, fucking Raw ratings went through the roof. It's on the website. It's like, Logic
People wanted to see what would happen next.
Logic would dictate that Edge Main Event Mania, but
What do we know?
But all right, well, Scott,
you're number one.
Your number one.
Number
What's
one.
it gonna be?
I mean, hey, what else can you say about the WrestleMania match? Cena and Rusev.
Dude, Rusev came out on a fucking tank. I mean,
Got Levi on that one.
Got me a little bit. Little spit take.
Surprised nobody dropped that name yet. No, it's a different R, and yes, it's The Rock. The Rock is my number one. Not just 2 WrestleMania main events, really 3. Because let's face it, Miz was a non-factor when it came to that WrestleMania. Exactly. It was Cena Rock. So over 3 WrestleMania main events, this feud is basically carrying the company. And James, reading my mind as always, stealing my shit, made the exact point I was going to make on why it's my number one. The Al Snow, wrestling business opinion is main event match of WrestleMania is your biggest draw. And this had 3 main events of WrestleMania linked to that rivalry and that feud. And because of that, you can say what you want about, WrestleMania 28, great match. People can say what they want about 29. I was there, and the live crowd was eating it up. It did not fucking matter how many times they went back and forth with their finishes. They were going to keep going with it and get louder and louder because they did. So maybe it doesn't come across on camera as much, but that live audience definitely showcased that. Both guys came out bigger stars. Cena came out as a truly main event top made guy that will go in the top echelon of all time for that work with The Rock. He's a guy that got to The Rock when nobody else could. You got your script on your arm, that whole situation there, calling The Rock out. Who the fuck had the balls to do that at that time? Punk would have been the guy to do it, but he was in no position to be that guy. So Cena was stepping up to the plate. There was that heat between the two. But once business was settled, everything came out great. Everyone looked good in the end. 3-year WrestleManias, 3 WrestleManias in a row of the same guy. Hogan didn't have that. Warrior never had that. Brett, no.
No.
The most those guys ever did was 2.
Steve had The Rock, but broken up, over several
every
different
other year,
WrestleManias. Not 3 in a row. So for me, Rock Cena, number 1.
All right, well, now time to construct the actual top 10. I think safe to say top 5-ish. Edge, Punk, AJ Rock, and...
Randy.
Yeah, Randy.
Randy.
So what else we got? Brock,
Batista,
Batista.
Brock, Owens, JBL,
AJ.
Kurt.
and Kurt.
Okay, I'll put Kurt in there. Brock.
Batista.
I already got that in there. So I got Batista 6, Kurt 7, Brock 8,
JBL
And
9.
JBL 9, and KO
and
10.
KO 10, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Wow, that list was easy.
easy. Yeah, so 10, Kevin Owens, 9, John Bradshaw Layfield, 8, Brock Lesnar, 7, Kurt Angle, 6, Batista, 5, Randy Orton, 4, The Rock, 3, AJ Styles, 2, CM Punk, and number 1, Edge.
That's pretty much my list, except a few
Basically,
spots.
yeah. If you think about it, yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
Yep.
So now, worst John Cena feuds.
Oh, Rusev, Johnny Ace, the
Rick
Authority.
Ali.
Rusev in
Frank Tully.
2015 feud
That was a
wasn't
good feud.
that bad.
It was a good
It was a good feud in 2015,
Wasn't bad, but it
after
wouldn't
that,
be, wouldn't be
yeah.
near the top, but it wouldn't be
No.
near the bottom either. The Federline feud, the Johnny Ace feud.
Yeah.
the Kane feud.
I'm sorry. The
Kane.
Bray Wyatt feud, I'm sorry. I'd put that. The Nexus feud, I'd put that near
Yeah.
the bottom.
Yeah.
Bottom. Wouldn't be horrible, but yeah.
The Kane feud, especially the
Yeah.
Embrace the Hate angle. Ugh.
The Big Show feud in 2012.
Yes.
Please retire. Please
Yep.
retire.
Sheesh.
Cena versus the Authority.
Right.
Yeah. That was...
Baron Corbin.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, not. I was gonna say Sheamus, but no, at least Sheamus
The
got
Sheamus
over.
one wasn't that bad.
It
because,
was okay.
again, John made Sheamus.
Yeah.
He put him over multiple times, made him a top-ish guy.
Arthur Jones brought Carlito.
The Carlito feud wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that
bad.
good either.
Yeah, it was just in
No.
the middle.
The
Wasn't that
Jesus
bad.
shit really was like, yeah, he got stabbed in a nightclub by one of Carlito's boys.
Yeah.
The Miz feud.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Miz in 09, they feuded, and then, of course, Mania what? And then the mixed tag at WrestleMania 33.
Yeah.
Which
Oh God, yeah.
which
There
should have
you
just
go.
been.
There's his worst feud, Nikki.
Oh no! Okay, I think we forgot one feud for his best. The fans.
Oh yeah.
Ron
Oh,
versus the
think about it.
fans.
You think about it, yeah. Half the fans, the male fans.
Let's go, Cena. Cena
Cena.
sucks.
Sucks. Yep. And you got to go out there and own it.
All right, now
That's-
Arthur, this one I definitely disagree with. I don't think his feud. I mean, okay, the storyline dumb, but the matches that they had were good. Ziggler. Yeah, the storyline they had in 2012 was stupid, but their ladder match at TLC was
They
great.
were okay matches. They were okay matches. They weren't the
They
best.
had
but
really
were
good
decent.
matches. It's just the
Well, I mean, it
story
was all
stupid.
revolved around the whole AJ Lee thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
I
really the
don't
only thing that
consider it-
that's really the only thing that would drag it down is the storyline. Whereas the matches, they had really damn good matches.
And another underrated match, I think, it wasn't really a feud that I remember, but you guys probably will remember more. It's Damien Sandow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Remember
was just a
with
match. That was
Sandow?
just a
That was
match.
just a match. But, yeah, you really expected
That was the
Uh,
cash in.
you expected Damien to be elevated after that, and shortly after that, he was gone.
And
Another
I
underrated
think
one.
this is just me. I think the only reason he lost that cash in because they knew they were unifying the belts.
yeah, Sandow,
and they wanted they wanted John versus Randy.
Yeah.
I think had there been no unification, he'd have won the world title.
Another underrated feud, that brief feud he had with R-Truth. Kind of. Kind of.
A sort of.
I mean, the only thing that came out of it was Little Jimmy.
Yeah.
That was it.
Booker T he feuded with.
Yeah, and
over the U.S. title.
Yeah, their early matches in that program, not the best, but towards the end they got much better.
They had that best of 5.
That brief rivalry he had with Rey Mysterio, briefly.
Actually, Arthur just brought up another an underrated one, Bobby Lashley.
In 07. That's another one they could go back to.
Yeah.
And I think it would be... They would have a much better match now because in 07...
As great as their match in 07 was, I think
Bobby
now
was
would be
still
much better.
a little green at that point. John was still somewhat little green, but now both are way better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They would have an awesome match now.
If Brian was still around, that's one they could go back to.
Yep. They could go back to Seth. I think Levi was the only guy who brought up Seth Rollins. On his list. Really, they could go back to that now too. Seth's not busy apparently right now, so you know, could be somebody else. Speaking of that,
honestly,
all right.
Now segue into
this
what
week in
happened
wrestling.
This week.
So Cody Rhodes for wrestling with a torn
He's a fucking king.
Absolute
my
king.
God.
Wow.
Honestly, I didn't see the pay-per-view.
I
was hearing buzzing
Go back
about
and watch
the
that one
match.
match. Just watch that one match.
I did go back and saw the pay-per-view. I didn't really care much about the rest of the matches. I got into the Hell in a Cell, and what the fuck?
Which I know they don't really matter, but Uncle Dave gave it 5.
Yeah, good for him.
As it fucking deserved.
Yeah, as it deserved.
The moment, the moment that Cody started taking his robe off, and you see
this fucking purple.
Yep.
The crowd went like,
oh shit. You know, if that does not prove that he knows where he is, he wants to prove who he is, he wants to prove his family and everything else, prove why he's being paid the money he's getting paid now. That was an indication.
It's one of those, that is a Mount Rushmore gutsy performance in wrestling.
And
career defining.
Was it that if Cody wasn't able to perform, they were thinking of putting Drew in the match? That's what I was thinking.
They would have had a great match.
But it's one of those with it torn off the bone, it can't get worse.
No.
It's like fuck it, I'll do it. I'll do it, and then
of course the tables, the candlestick, the strap,
bull rope.
Man.
I was like, what the fuck?
That hooked me when I saw the bull rope. Now, holy shit.
Now this is what I call a fucking Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
Now it may be recency bias. This is one of the 10 best cell matches of all time. It may be recency bias, but who gives a shit?
Yeah, I'd say yes. I think it definitely has proved itself as being a
it's the best one in a decade.
Mm-hmm. You've got Seth, who's got plenty of experience with Hell in a Cell, and Cody, who never did Hell in a Cell, but still.
Well, he did do one. He did do
him
one.
and Ted versus DX.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot
but this was Cody's first singles main event. He was going to do it. If his arm was off, he'd have gone out there.
Yep. So.
And he went over, which that shocked me.
That shocked me too. 3 in a row.
I mean, Cody has gained more my respect because of that performance.
Yeah.
I mean, my God.
Dude, even if you're not a fan of Cody, you can't not respect him for going. Yeah. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's stupid to do that." Yes, it's you can say it's a little stupid, but wrestlers are different breeds than everybody else.
Yeah. Some people say, "Well, I think WWE should be checking themselves on allowing him to do that." He said it was fine. He said, "I want to do this."
And people are making this WWE version versus AEW. Well, Tony would have never done that. Yeah, only because he's like Matt and Jeff compete with full-blown concussions.
Right.
But hey,
big deal.
What do we know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And of course, the night
But
after,
yeah, but now with the angle they did on Raw where Seth attacked him, sounds like when Cody comes back, they're going to continue.
honestly,
if even necessary, I mean, they could, but
put the money in the bank on Seth. When Cody comes back, you can always go back to that. Because honestly, Cody's the favorite for the Rumble.
Yeah.
I know they say he's going to be out 9 months. He's going to be back at the Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
totally
gonna
makes
back
sense.
the Rumble and win.
As far as Hell in the Cell as a show is concerned, it was a bookend show. You know, the main event was fantastic. Opening match was the women's triple threat, which was also really good.
Yeah.
Really good match between all three of them. Good chemistry, good story. Rest of the card was kind of It was okay. It wasn't fantastic. But yeah, so it was a bookend show. I'd recommend those two matches to check out at least.
Then on Raw, of course, Judgment Day. Edge.
Edge apparently injured.
I
so
was
who knows?
not expecting that move, to be honest.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah, and I've been back and forth in my head about their decision to do that. It's like part of me wants to think, oh, this will help Finn's heel stock, but at the same time, this group had just started.
So I think
So it's like I've been back and forth.
A lot of
in my
it
head.
had to do with the fact that Cody was out. They wanted a new babyface. So I guess instead of pushing Balor as a babyface against Judgment Day, they'll just turn Balor heel and go with Edge as a babyface for fucking reasons.
And the reason I think also they wanted Judgment Day to be more supernatural, and Edge
didn't want that. Yeah, I saw that too.
That's another rumor that's out there too. Yeah, which okay, whatever. Like,
I mean, he was only a part of the Brood.
No,
but,
I mean,
whatever.
This didn't already have a tinge of the Undertaker on it already. It's like,
I mean, he even
we need to go
referenced
more
it.
supernatural.
He even referenced it.
He was a part of freaking Sacrifices back in the 90s. But
the ministry and everything else. So it's like, I don't
what do
get
we
it.
know?
But why Finn? Why wasn't Tommaso given the spot? You know, he's not.
Why didn't you turn Finn at the pay-per-view?
Yeah, and I'm
if you're gonna do it.
I thought they were gonna do. I thought that might have happened at the pay-per-view too. But no, didn't happen. Or at least, it was possibly an idea thrown around. Now we want to do that. Well, guess what? We have to do something. So
I guess SummerSlam's gonna be Balor versus Edge.
Which that should be a really good match.
Yeah, maybe because of the whole Cody thing, plans had to be changed. No?
Yeah, a lot of it probably had to do with they needed a new babyface because they put all their eggs in the Cody basket as the top babyface.
Mm-hmm.
And with him out,
this kind of reminds me of, funny enough, again with Edge when he returned at Rumble 2020, how it was originally going to be him and AJ at Mania, but then they had the scare of AJ getting hurt in the Rumble, like, oh shit, is he going to be out for a while? Edge and Orton. But thankfully AJ came back like 2 weeks later, but it all worked out for the best, with Edge and Orton and then Taker AJ. So yeah, this kind of reminds me of that a little bit, where they had a scare of somebody getting hurt. It's like, oh shit, what do we do? Put Edge and Orton together. Kind of that situation.
Yeah. So.
Walter. I was going to say Walter winning the Intercontinental title.
Gunther.
I will never call him Gunther. I'm sorry.
You just did.
It's a trap.
To this day, I'll call him Walter, but it feels weird calling him Gunther. But good for Gunther.
Intercontinental champ. It's time for him to take that dead piece of crap and bring it back to life.
And
yes.
I don't know if you all saw the promo he did after, I think backstage, that he wanted to bring back Prestige to the IC title.
And apparently, higher-ups really like him.
Good. They should.
So,
he has the look of a guy Vince would push to the moon, for God's sake.
Just one thing. Get a new IC title design. That one fucking sucks.
I still don't like this. I don't like this
I hate
design.
that design.
Yeah.
Bring back the old style design on the black strap and
you're all set.
Just
Yeah.
have them hold it for a year.
Yes.
Year and a half. Break
Yeah.
Honky Tonk Man's record.
Yes.
Just squash people.
Yeah.
Just
There you go.
squash people left and right.
Make people on the same way.
Yeah.
You know, just like he
And
did. The
better
match
yet,
at Ricochet was really good.
Put them in main event matches. Like make that title actually mean something
Yeah,
again.
we talked about this too because there was concern that having Roman having both titles, USA and Fox were being pissed off by that because they wanted their champion recognized. So we said on here, make the Intercontinental title or the US title bigger. Well, guess what? Now they can. Now they've got a guy that they can put a lot more time into that's going to have solid matches and carry that title. So makes sense to me. Unify the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title. Why not?
Well, no, I
No,
wouldn't say
ahead.
unify those.
Go ahead.
Keep those separate. Those should be the only belts separate. The rest can unify.
Yeah.
I mean, unlike AEW, that's bringing in another belt.
Which is the next thing to talk about.
The All-Atlantic
Championship?
because
Why-
Japan is part of the Atlantic.
Yeah. Why does the Japanese flag
Hey,
on the
you know, you know something is shit when Dave and Brian are saying, "What the fuck is this?"
What the fuck?
They are even saying that this doesn't really make sense,
No.
and they're on the fucking payroll.
Good design. I like the design. I'll give them that.
Yeah, the
When I
design's
first-
cool, but yeah.
When I first saw the champion, I was like, "Is that the new IC title?" I'm like, "Oh shit!"
But it's
How
like
many have they have now?
you have the AEW World
World
title, you have the
TNT.
Interim World title,
Mm.
the TNT title, the tag
Women's
belts, the
tag
FTW title, the TNT title.
The TBS title.
TBS
Yeah.
title.
Then you have all the ROH belts.
Right. Then you got the Owen Hart belts.
Then you have the AAA belts.
belt.
Yep. And then now you got
they
another
u-
one on top of this.
They use
And
the
then-
New Japan belts
Oh,
every so
yeah.
often. See, they have about as many belts as WWE does right now.
Mhm. Yeah. Ridiculous. When's the All Pacific Championship coming? And the All Indian Pacific Championship coming? And the All Arctic
Where-
Championship coming?
Where is the Ohio Michigan Championship? The Great Lakes belt.
There you go. Where's the Great Lakes title? Where's the Central States title? Where's the Florida State title?
Where's the
New York
Western
State title?
Midwest
States
title.
Heritage
Heritage title. Where the fuck is that, Tony
Yeah,
Khan?
it's fucking Jim Crockett Promotions at this point.
Where's the
where
Canadian
everyone
Heavyweight Championship? Where's that?
buried with Dino Bravo?
Ooh.
Too soon.
Wow, too soon. That's heat.
Ouch! Ouch!
Where's the what was it? The ICW ICWA Texarkana television title. Where's that one? Anybody know that one?
I've
Larry
actually
Sweeney?
heard
Larry
it
Sweeney?
once or
Anybody?
twice.
Larry Sweeney? Anybody?
Where's the Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Championship?
Oh, where's the Brass Knuckles Championship?
Where is the Indiana Heavyweight title and the California belt?
Where's the Missouri Championship and the Florida Championship?
The New
All
York,
Asian
New
Championship.
Jersey, the New York, New Jersey middleweight heavyweight title.
The New England Super Flyweight Championship. Where's that one?
The Texas Welterweight Championship.
Did you say Walter Weight?
Welterweight.
No, you said a Walter. You said a Walter.
I said welter.
The Mexican Cruiserweight title.
There you go. Where's the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship?
Where's the Japanese strong style?
The
Style.
WCW Women's title.
Yes. Where's the WCCW Light Heavyweight Championship?
The AWA International title.
International Television title. Yeah. Where the hell is that?
Where's the WWF United States Championship? Huh?
Yeah. Where's the North American? Where's the WWF North American Championship?
Where's the WWF South American title?
Buenos Aires.
Anyway,
yeah, we're
anyway.
really going to. Anyways, you were gonna bring up Paige.
Age announced
Paige.
her, her, I guess, contract's expiring soon in the next month or so.
Yes, she's been under contract the whole time, folks.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Getting
I
paid
wonder,
to do nothing.
That's right. Took care of her. Can you believe that her mom is still wrestling?
Oh my god.
Her mom is wrestling longer than his daughter is. Soraya. Yeah, she still wrestles.
I mean, I've been hearing rumors that they might go to AEW as the manager.
Yeah. Shocker.
Yeah, big deal.
Honestly, I'd rather her go to Impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Impact could use somebody. It's like everyone should go to AEW, but it's like you have Impact in all these other places.
MLW, NWA,
It's-
even.
I mean, people want to see wrestling being stronger, but in reality, they only want to see the two top companies stronger.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all they care about.
I guess another thing is
Cena 20 years.
Yeah, he's gonna be back on
coming
his
up.
20th anniversary.
Hell yeah.
In my hometown.
Are you gonna be there?
Most probably, and I still need to check if they have tickets. Let me check first.
They should still have some. And then Mike just brought up in the chat Bray Wyatt possibly coming back.
Yeah.
There are all kinds of rumors about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
There were
Guerrero?
rumors about him returning at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
true.
was.
Yeah.
Because of all these pictures he's been posting of him back to his original Swamp character, which I would take that because it's been a long time since we've seen that character, and that was a great character.
It'd be fine for it to come back.
It'd be fine and like do that and only use the Fiend when absolutely necessary.
Yep.
Like
Don't
for,
make me
about
bring him.
Yeah, him.
out.
Back.
exactly.
Yep. Because
Exactly.
we said we have the three faces of Wyatt, or the four faces, if you will. So
Yeah, Husky Harris,
Hey,
Funhouse Bray,
Husky
Swamp
Harris.
Bray, and the Fiend.
yep.
Yep. Oh God, imagine the Fiend and
Fireworks
Husky the
going off.
Clown.
Oh, put him in the bag.
Riddle, #1 contendership.
Krusty, what do you think of his sister? Krista, what do you think of Sister Abigail? Oh, put her in the bag.
Yeah,
Riddle became #1 contender.
Riddles, yeah, getting the big push.
Yep. Too bad.
Who
it
saw
ain't.
the Jeff Jarrett Broken Skull sessions?
I have yet to watch it. I
I
need to watch
That
it.
is okay. Is it just me, or did they fucking whitewash so much with that? With
A lot got edited out.
like,
I think for time.
like, oh, there was never heat between us. There's never heat between me and Vince. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Wasn't it Austin who said I'm never working with Jeff Jarrett after he
Yeah.
said Austin 316 was blasphemous?
Let me tell you guys something. A lot of stuff is said in the wrestling business in the heat of the moment, and a lot of times it's just ego getting in the way of reality. So he may have said that. He probably did say that. But you know what? Probably 2 days later, he was probably like, shit, why the fuck did I say that? Because he
Right.
fucking knows. He knows. It happens on the independent level, on the smallest levels you can ever imagine. Politics and ego still flood locker rooms around this country, around this world. So
Or like when WCW was bought out. Oh, when Vince said that on television, I thought he was starting an angle with me. I thought I was coming back.
Yep.
No.
Me personally, it's like they kind of glossed over some stuff
Yeah,
and may have.
a lot got glossed over.
I mean, it was still a good episode, but
There was only so much they could fit in like an hour and 40 or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and then another topic. Some of us probably forgot about Kurt Angle getting double knee surgery.
Oh, we didn't know about that actually.
yeah.
Double knee surgery. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's like, man, after watching that episode of Broken Skull with Kurt on there, can't help but feel bad for Kurt whenever they brought him back. It's like they didn't want for him to wrestle, yet he was still kicking ass in England the year before. And as you said, when you're not in the ring all the time, your body, whenever you're coming back to it, it's not the same.
It's like that
And-
retirement run of his in 2019 was just. It's
Yeah.
a shell of Kurt Angle. Had his last match been that mixed tag at 34, that'd have been the perfect
It
send
would
off.
have been fine.
Perfect send-off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bro. I'm going against Roman Reigns next week. Bro.
I'm not your bro.
Now, I wonder, is that match even going to happen?
Right. I mean, what's Roman's status? I don't even know.
Apparently, he's not going to be doing Money in the Bank either.
No, I've heard that.
Oh,
Maybe
I didn't hear
SummerSlam?
Oh, he'll definitely do SummerSlam.
For sure.
And he'll
That's
do
probably
the show
close.
at the UK.
Yeah, he'll do that.
And he'll probably
Yeah.
do the Saudi show.
Which is what, November?
Something like that.
So it's way down the
Something
line.
around there. I was reading a rumor that supposedly MJF wants to go into Hollywood. I mean, why
Oh,
not?
good for him.
Hey, why
I'm fine
not?
with that.
Why not?
Hey, why not?
But Mike brings up a good point. Bailey still hasn't returned yet, and still trying to
Not
figure out
yet.
what the deal is with
Yeah.
Been out a year.
Yeah,
Been
I
more
think
than a
that's
year.
I think that's waiting to find the right place for her.
Yeah.
Because probably Bailey, like many other
Or
many of the
SummerSlam?
other four
Maybe
horsewomen,
perhaps?
are kind of like they know their worth. I ain't just coming back to put somebody over. What are you doing with me? What's your plan with me?
What
Let's
if
figure this out.
they
So I
bring
think that's
Bailey for Money in the Bank and have her win
Have
the
a
Money in the
mystery.
Bank contract?
Have a mystery entrance.
Mm.
Don't know who
Yeah.
it is, and then it's Bailey,
Mm-hmm.
and she wins the
Totally do that.
briefcase.
hmm
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I think Naomi.
She should
tweeted
just actually
something-
run in at the end and just grab it and leave.
Just like
I-
Brock.
Like just fucking
like
grab
Brock.
it. Exactly.
I
Why
think
not?
Or have
Naomi-
Sasha and Naomi jump the guardrail and grab the briefcase and run.
Like, what the hell is going on?
I think Naomi tweeted something about the whole situation.
Yeah, Naomi apparently did release a statement, but I didn't read it.
Let me
Because
see if I can find
honestly, it's old news now. I don't think anybody cares.
At this point, yeah.
At this point, it's like, what's
Yeah.
MJF doing? What? Oh,
What did
Cody's
Cody
a
do?
badass.
Cody's
Mhm.
Cody and MJF took over the news cycle. So
Punk took over as well because he got injured and
Yep.
now I think he had surgery. Adam Cole's wrestling hurt.
Yep.
Brian's apparently hurt.
hmm
Jeff's on his last legs, literally.
hmm Will Ospreay debuted in AEW for reasons. He's
Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door, or whatever. And I guess now that Punk can't do the match with
Tanahashi.
Tanahashi, I
Tanahashi.
guess they want to put Adam Page in the spot, possibly. Or at least he's lobbying
Well,
for it, I guess.
Tanahashi's probably going to be facing Moxley for the interim belt.
Oh, is that it? Now? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Tanahashi's going to beat Goto,
Okay.
and then Tanahashi and
Yeah.
Moxley, and then Moxley be the
Moxley's
interim
probably
champion.
hmm
There's no way they're putting the interim belt on Tanahashi unless he's staying in America for
Which,
an extended period.
yeah.
Mike just brought up talking about how Brock Lesnar recently was speaking about wanting to work KO.
Really?
Really?
I would be into that program.
They did already, but it was one of those squashes at MSG, I think.
Yeah.
It was like nothing that ever meant anything. But this is something I thought about. With all these injuries happening right now, I wonder if Vince has made
They're
the Brock
probably
call.
trying to get called.
Like,
Probably.
called
Dude.
Get your ass back here. I'll pay you $5 million.
Yep, because that's what Brock is going to say. You need me back, old man? Pay up.
Well, yeah. But I mean, then Brock's
pay
at the
him.
point. He'll pay him,
He'll
but
pay him.
it's like Brock he'd be like, not like how he was years before last year, where he's just coming in, just goofing off and just being more or less himself and having fun. Like, you can definitely
Dude,
tell when Brock,
Okay,
if,
Oh,
if
God,
he does
okay.
work,
Brock is
Right.
getting
If
paid
he
enough,
does-
he'll have as much fun as he wants.
yeah, and I guarantee you, if English motherfucker, if he does do a program with KO, that's going to be a lot of fun for damn sure.
All right, okay,
Yeah.
okay, here we go. Guest booking. KO's in the ring with Ezekiel. One last time. Will you please just admit that you're Elias? Everyone knows you're Elias. No, I'm not. I'm Ezekiel. And a matter of fact, there's someone else here that wants to talk to you too, Kevin. Here comes Brock. But Brock comes out with the outfit, with his glasses on. Brock Lesnar, what are you doing here? I am not Brock. I am Barry Lesnar. I am Brock's brother, Barry Lesnar.
What?
And then Kevin just absolutely melts.
Loses it. Like,
He's gone. Like,
What the hell's going on, everybody?
Kevin, yes. You guys, I'm going home. But yeah, so Barry Lesnar would be fantastic. Finishers the F6. Mm-hmm.
And it's Suplex Township.
Suplex. I like that. Yep. And Ball Layman comes out as manager.
He's a vegetarian.
He's a vegetarian. There you go. Yes. Yeah.
Catholic.
Yep. Yeah. Something like that. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. My name is Ball Layman, and I am the accountant for Barry Lesnar.
And see,
and he wears a fedora
for them
instead
to
of the
keep a
cowboy.
straight face during it would be impossible.
Impossible.
Keep a straight face with our truth, for fuck's sake.
Yep. Exactly. So. Yep.
I guarantee you, if Brock saw like KO's reaction to all this, Brock would have to be pissing himself. Like KO's like, "Oh my god!"
He would just say it like once and then pick up Kevin, F5 his ass, and drop his glasses and walk off. Then Ezekiel would try to high five him, he'd pick Ezekiel up, drop his ass too, and walk off. So, and then when he hit the F5 on Ezekiel, he remembers he's Elias. Amnesia.
Oh god.
Or every time he gets hit on the head, he goes back and forth.
Yeah.
I like it. Yep.
It's like Festus with ringing the bell.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
God. Ding!
Ding!
Ding! Ding! I'm Kane.
Ding!
Ding! Too sweet.
Ding!
Ding! It doesn't matter. Ding!
Yep. What? Goddamn, what?
Oh my god.
Tremendous.
Well, I think that's a good way to wrap up this one.
All right.
So,
what do we got coming up, boy?
Coming up next week, 20th anniversary of TNA's very first show in 2002 when the company began. That's still around 20 years later, now known as Impact Wrestling.
Yep.
But
the next day will be the 20th anniversary.
Yep. And then to conclude June, it's UWF Beach Brawl.
Yes! Herbie cookies.
Herbie cookies, motherfuckers.
Herb Abrams Ghost, get those tweets out. Come on, Zach.
We know it's you.
Dude. We know it's you. Come on, get your ass in gear, dude.
No, it's not Zach. It's
it's Peck.
It's Pac. the short little English fella on AEW.
You fucking lethal leprechaun.
Wait, why are you talking about Hornswoggle?
Actually, that was Austin Aries. My bad. Am I lying? Did I lie? I always called Austin Aries a lethal leprechaun because he's just a fucking short little motherfucker. He looks like an angry fucking leprechaun. Remember, he used to have that little soul patch thing going on in Ring of Honor. It's like, come on, dude.
Man, tonight the heat.
The heat is on.
Yeah.
Heat is on. Heat is on.
I am on the fire.
Caliente.
But anyways, so then July, 4th of July weekend, we're talking Bash 92. Week after it's SummerSlam 92. Week after that's top 10 SummerSlam Intercontinental Championship matches. And then concluding SummerSlam month is Bret Hart's SummerSlam history. I figured we could use this time now to brainstorm August. So,
any anniversaries coming up, if anybody is aware of that we could contemplate. That James isn't doing, by the way, just in case.
Yeah.
Because August again is more keen to SummerSlam in the past. But
I know one for September.
Okay, well, we'll get to there when we get to it.
Yeah, but August.
I do have one idea.
We could do a Road Wild. We could do one of the Sturgis shows.
Yeah. How's we say we do 97?
Yeah, it's the 25th anniversary of that one.
Anniversary of that one. So
Mark it down.
WCW Road Wild 1997. So that would be, ironically, the weekend of my birthday, August 6th. So Then the next week, that would be a top 10 episode.
Oh, top 10. We're already doing a SummerSlam thing, top 10 in July with the Intercontinental titles. So,
How about the U.S. title? How about the United States Championship?
I don't know.
How about another retrospective?
Well, that would be towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
We'd have to think of a good one for that, but for top 10 that's in August.
Who's 0% anniversary?
Well, I mean, it's the middle of summer. We could always do about hot women.
Could do that. Top 10 hottest
women in wrestler. Top 10 hottest
in
women
wrestling history. Arthur would definitely watch.
Oh yeah,
that,
Arthur, you're on board with that one. Absolutely. Yeah, so write that one down. That's fine.
Hottest women in wrestling history.
Yep. We'll be totally misogynistic on that
one. And then the second
oink
show
oink
for the month.
My good man.
And then for a second show to cover, I kind of want to do a TNA show in August.
Hardcore Justice, the original, the 2010 Hardcore Justice.
Okay.
That's because that was the ECW their ECW reunion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Write that one down.
Although, warning, I am gonna dread watching that show back. Oh god.
And is there an ECW show we could do? We haven't done an ECW in a while.
Well, instead of Hardcore Justice, I mean, because we would have to get the Impact app, so unless it's on YouTube. Yeah. But ECW, I mean, there's some heat waves. There's some.
Yeah, there are a couple heat waves we haven't talked about. What one we did 99 and 2000?
Yeah,
have we done 98? Yeah.
I'm doing 98.
Oh, you're doing 98.
We could always there was 97. No, was there a heat wave in 97?
No, we could do a 97 show. What about
there was only like three pay-per-views, I think.
Oh, yeah.
What do we got?
I think I got it. Born to be Wired.
Oh,
Terry and Sabu in the barbed wire match.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Is that whole show on the network or is it on YouTube someplace?
It should be.
Because I don't know.
Be Wired 1997.
If it's on the network, then
we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for a retrospective, I'm trying to think of a really obscure one that would be really
Next Generation Wrestlers, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
There we go.
Yeah.
Next Generation Wrestlers.
And we talk about the misconceptions of them. Oh, they have the easiest road possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There have been a lot of Next Generation wrestlers that either were just as good as their fathers or grandfathers or better. And then there are some that were complete and utter horseshit.
And then there's David Sammartino.
And Shawn Stasiak.
And Eric
David Flair.
David Flair.
Eric Watts.
And Eric Watts.
And Manu.
Yep, Manu.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I had one idea for September, since we're approaching the 25th anniversary of this. Why don't we do a review of Raw September 22nd, 97, arguably the greatest Raw of all time?
Sure, we can do that.
Anniversary. Austin Stonering Vince and Cactus Jack debut.
The one I had for September, Goldberg's WCW run. Because that's the same night as that MSG Raw was Goldberg's debut on Nitro.
Okay.
So that would be a good retrospective for...
The streak begins.
Mm-hmm.
A streak, but not even just covering the streak, but
his whole
everything
run.
After the entire WCW run.
Mm-hmm. Just the WCW run.
Yeah, just WCW.
Not doing 2003 and all that stuff.
Yeah, because that could be its own episode.
That will be its own episode, yeah.
His WWE run.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
and then how about for a top 10 for September?
Shit. Top 10. Have we done top 10 failed gimmicks?
No, we haven't.
No.
Oh,
Top 10 failed gimmicks.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the beginning of the month, what show could we cover? I had the idea of maybe doing One Night Only 97.
One night
25th
only, yes, because
anniversary.
that's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
25th anniversary of that. And yeah, and actually I did already think about 2 episodes for November for like a November Starcade 86.
Yeah.
Starcade
Yeah.
86. And
And
then
we
for
did
a
talk
Survivor
about-
Series. And then for a
Go ahead.
Survivor
Mhm.
Series 2007.
we can do
Yeah.
Worlds,
15th
Worlds
anniversary.
Collide.
When worlds collide.
When Worlds
Yeah,
Collide.
we gotta-
that's
Yes,
another
when
one.
Worlds
Gotta give
Collide.
me that one. You gotta give me that
Triple
one.
A
Yes.
Worlds Collide.
Definitely doing that.
We can forget about Survivor Series because we'll do a Survivor Series top 10.
Yeah. Could.
do that.
So November.
Because we've
5th,
done
Triple A
like
when
we've done like
Worlds
Survivor Series main events and stuff like that, or
Collide.
teams. I think we did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've done teams and main events and stuff, so we could think of something else for Survivor Series.
Yeah, top 10.
Top 10
Survivor
non-sur-
Series.
Top 10 non-Survivor tag team matches in Survivor
top,
Series history.
top 10
Opening
Survivor
matches?
Series opening matches.
Opening matches.
Yeah.
Could do that.
Worst matches in Survivor Series history.
Mm,
Oh
Mm.
man.
mm.
Which sounds better? Top 10 openers or worst matches?
Worst, because the worst ones there are, oh my god.
Mhm.
especially one in particular. Or
Wait,
2 in particular for
There's
sure.
like 3 or 4 in particular. Holy crap.
Top 10 worst Survivor Series matches. And then to conclude November,
We've got a Starcade, a Win Worlds Collide, a top 10,
And
and
a Survivor Series and a Survivor Series topic. So, what else is there for November?
Montreal's been done to
we
death,
could
and
do,
I'm
we could
doing
do a
that.
November to remember. ECW
November to
November to
remember.
remember.
97.
97.
97.
Yep.
I was gonna say no. I think you guys did Undertaker retrospective. First
We
couple
did an
of
Undertaker
years.
retrospective. We did that already. But yeah, put down November to remember 97. We'll put that
Yeah.
down.
Because
And
that's
then
Shane winning the belt in his hometown.
Right.
now for
Now
October,
we'll worry about-
and now for
Yeah, for
October,
October,
since we
October.
skipped
Yeah, we
over,
skipped
have to
October.
do-
we
like,
did, yeah.
we have to do a Halloween Havoc.
Absolutely.
97. 97. Age in the Cage.
WCW,
We,
WCW
wait, we
Halloween
have to
Havoc,
do Halloween
1997.
Havoc, and we have to do Bad Blood.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We got the first Hell in a Cell,
Mhm.
and we got...
Yeah.
And we now speaking of, got to do some sort of Kane thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Top 10
Top
Kane
10.
matches.
Yeah,
I guess.
I think
yeah,
that'd
I
be
think
fair.
we do that. Might
Top
as well.
10
That's
Kane
fine.
matches.
Mhm.
And then for another show and a retrospective, I think for another October show, I think we should do a Bound for Glory, 2007 maybe, or
that.
well, we're already doing 2 shows.
Yeah, so I think we should do a retrospective on wrestling's most evil characters
Ooh.
for the month of October, horror related.
Yeah.
Evil.
Evil.
High and Time number 1.
Evil, 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 evil.
We would have to talk Kai.
High and tie.
Yeah, Kai and Tai, they're the most evil.
So that would
Indeed.
leave. So that would leave
Indeed.
one final episode for October.
There's 5
Alright.
weeks in October?
Yeah, 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, 29th.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
So
We could do a 3rd show
So you
in
could
there.
do it.
I think
so
Bound
we
for
already
Glory
have.
7 would be a good one. 15th anniversary of that show. Angle, Sting, Joe, Christian, Tag, Ultimate
Yeah,
X.
well, why don't we do it then?
The first
Yeah.
Knockouts title.
Yes.
Because we've already
Awesome
got. We've already got.
Tits.
Yeah.
Actually did happen on
That
the
did
live
happen.
feed.
Yep.
If you have the
Whoops.
live pay-per-view feed.
You saw
Gone,
it. Yep.
titties.
Poor Kia.
Uh,
Kia's,
I'm gonna
Kia's
need
giblets.
I'm gonna need that scene for research purposes.
Dude. Well,
I've already seen it years ago, so
Yeah.
it's like when you first see it live, it's like, did we just...
did that just
yes.
happen?
Wow.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it did.
Yes, it did. that one is also sexual.
Oh God! Oh God!
Oh God!
I-
Yeah, you guys got a towel.
Hey, would you like to get high? You want a towel?
I mean, okay, we've already talked July, August, September, October. We might as well do December.
Might as well do
at
the
this
3
point.
weeks
Yes.
of December, the 3rd,
Shit.
10th, and
Yeah.
17th.
So,
Starcade 97.
Yes.
yep.
That
Starcade
one's a
97.
must.
We already did this December to Dismember, so nobody talk about it.
No.
That's done.
What else has
Whoa.
happened in December? The only thing that pops in my head is TLC when they used to do it back in
Armageddon.
December.
Or an Armageddon pay-per-view.
We need. We got one show, a retrospective and a top 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should do that. I think we did that
Top
last year.
10.
December.
Top 10.
December.
Top 10 Santa Claus run-ins.
Top 10 Santa Claus matches.
Santa Claus matches.
How about top 10 street fights?
Top
10
10
street
women in
fights?
wrestling you want under your Christmas tree.
I think that kind of goes with the top 10
Yeah.
women thing we're going to do
Yeah.
already. But, you know,
Oh,
yeah.
10
What
women you
about-
want to stuff their stocking. I meant as a stocking stuffer. That
What about...
is also sexual.
Well, how about, like, top 10 best celebrity involvements in wrestling?
Ooh.
A celebrity.
Ooh.
Okay.
Celebrity,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
best
yeah.
celebrity involved.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
And
Top
then
10
a
Top 10 best
retrospective.
celebrities in
Retrospective.
wrestling history. And then
A retrospective
on-
on... What about Steve Austin? Have we done Steve Austin?
Austin and WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Austin's WCW run.
World Television title run to the U.S. title run to
Dangerous
bye-bye.
Alliance.
Tag
and Hollywood
title
Blondes.
run.
Yep, everything in between. Yeah, there you go.
Well, there you go. That's the rest of 2022.
There's the rest of the
set in
year.
stone.
January 2023.
All right, so
Yeah, now we're getting too nutty here.
settle down, McNick Pick, or whatever your name was there.
Douchey McNick.
Well,
Bitchy
actually,
Gotta, see, this is why you need glasses. Actually,
need my glasses.
You know what's
Worst-
funny?
worst
You know what's
pay-per-view
funny?
ever.
You know what's funny? When James did that earlier, it made me... I was watching back my boys Thralls doing their Exodus album ranking, and Joe Shredlord did basically the same fucking thing James did when Jam and John was talking about how he was listening to an album on Spotify, and Joe's like, "That's what you kids get when you stream. You don't get the real experience." It made me immediately think of
Did
that.
I do that?
Back in my day, we used to say back in my day.
Back in my day, we didn't do stuff like that. We didn't have TV shows. We had radio, and that's all we did, and we liked it. We loved it.
What would Terry Funk think of all this crap?
Dude, I almost got through this whole fucking show without doing Terry Funk once. I'm not going to do it now. I intended not to do Terry once tonight, and I have not.
Okay,
So,
Terry has a
you
sick
go ahead.
horse, so
You go ahead. Terry has a sick horse tonight. That's right. So, yep.
Krusty,
What?
what's your opinions on all this crap?
What kind of crap we talking about? You mean the crap you have after eating my burgers and my joints? Oh, God, I can't eat that stuff. It goes right through me. You know what I say when I go to those restaurants? Oh, put them in a bag.
Anyway, that's a great place to leave off for this week. So, yeah.
Plug time.
Um,
I remembered this time. Plug time.
Hey!
Hey!
Yeah, because last week I was just so fucking done with the comedy. I was like, damn it. So anyway, Ricky, we'll start with you.
You can follow me on my Twitter, Horrormaster18. You can follow me on my Instagram at ArcaramanMetalGod. And you can catch me on my YouTube channel at Horrormaster. I'm 3 subs away from 50 subscribers. So I'm almost there. Come on, guys. You can catch my latest videos where I did my Metallica rank 'em all and my latest CD collection. My next rank 'em all, I'm thinking of doing either Creator, Priest, or Maiden. So, just throwing out ideas.
James.
Find me on my YouTube at We Are Pro Wrestling, where I just uploaded an episode on the Great American Bash from 1997. This coming week, episode 200. I'm not going to say what it is, but it should be a very interesting episode. And then the final... Well, it's not interesting in a bad way. It's interesting in a good way, actually. And then the following week, to end June, Kurt Hennig in WCW. Which is a very interesting topic. It's the 25th anniversary of his jump over as the Impact player debut, and then his Horseman run and NWO run and rap is crap. And then July, I've got stuff involving SummerSlam, and want any update on anything involving my channel, follow me on Twitter at WAPW_wrestling, and on my YouTube channel, subscribe. I am now double digits away from 10,000. I'm about 90 or so away.
Ooh, nice.
So subscribe.
Yes. Come on board. Yes.
Scott.
All right, come on over to my YouTube channel, too. It's Mr. Scott. Check out my reactions on there to all the kinds of fun stuff there. I've got a mashup that's going up tomorrow. I'm checking out the new track from Amon Amarth called Get in the Ring. That's going to be coming up on my channel soon, too, so check out my reaction to that. More reactions coming throughout the year on there. Find me on Twitch, where I've been jamming out there. I now pretty much have two different types of Twitch streams. I have my stand-up concert streams and my sit-down studio sessions, so it's a fun time either way. Got the new green screen working, so I'm having fun using that in the background. You find me also on the Necrocasticon podcast with our good brother Walter Ball, who hasn't been here in a while. He's been working Saturday nights, so hopefully he'll be back sometime soon. There with Walter, Tom Clark, Skip Novak, Dan Roberts, talking horror, metal, and more every single week. You also find me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at It's Mr. Scott. And you find me here and you find me there and you find me everywhere. Just don't find me underneath your bed because your mom misses me.
Mommy,
Put her in the bag.
Mommy, who's that man under my bed?
It's Mr. Scott!
He turns around and
Put it in
winks.
the bag.
The old Brian Pillman story. Mommy, no!
In real style.
But, and finally, subscribe to me on YouTube, ThrashManiac99. I'm currently about 125 subs away from 3,500. So we're getting there. I, earlier today, uploaded my review of the new Creator album. Fucking great stuff. As far as what's coming up, tomorrow I got a mini episode of Under the Radar, because there was only like 3 albums that caught my eye coming out this weekend, so I might as well talk about the other 2 in an Under the Radar tomorrow. As far as what else is coming, Tuesday could either be a CD collection update video or a new 10 list. I've been thinking about like 10 gateway metal albums, but definitely for sure this upcoming Thursday I'm doing my Metallica album ranking, which I'm prepared to get shat upon for what I'm going to say about quite a few albums that people seem to love to hate for some reason. But I digress.
That means you'll get a lot of views over it.
Exactly. Yep. I mean, hell, I got an almost 1,500 for the Morbid Angel ranking, and pretty much like 98% positive. Only recently did I get like troll comments saying like, The Illusionary Anus is the greatest album ever. And I'm like, okay, you're trying too hard.
How dare you not like what I like?
It's like, you're trying too hard. You're trying too hard to be a troll there.
How dare you? How dare you say
Dare
the
you? How
Illusionary
dare
Anus
you, sir?
is the greatest Morbid Angel album of all
It's the
time?
greatest Morbid Angel album in the world. It is better than anything on the Covenant album ever could produce.
Yes.
And I love Catharsis and
funny enough-
Somebody subscribe to this Twitch quick. They'll get a surprise.
Yes.
And funny enough, there's some people who actually think that, to be honest. Which is the scary part.
They're not really.
Yeah,
Levi,
yeah,
you and
people
I-
like to also
you-
sniff Sharpies.
True.
But anyways,
And some other stuff.
but anyways, so yeah, that's coming up this week. Yeah, no real big albums coming out next week, so you'll probably get some random shit next weekend. But then towards the end of the month, new Porcupine Tree album I'm going to do, and then a huge 2-part episode of Under the Radar, because the final week of the month, there's like at least 12 albums coming that I'm going to be checking out. So wish me luck on those videos, because I'm going to need it. But that's all in June, and then as far as everything else, follow me on Instagram, ThrashManiac_YT. And then finally, follow and or subscribe to me on Twitch at ThrashManiac99, where I'm currently 30 followers away from 400. And hell, if you go over there right now and hit the subscribe button on Twitch, you'll get a very special surprise.
Very, very special.
His penis.
Yes. Best keep your wife away from me because I might steal her from underneath your nose.
Hide your wives. It's Levi.
Exactly.
That's right.
Wait a minute. What's this
Oh,
thing? I need
yeah.
my microscope. I need my microscope to look at this thing.
Giggity, giggity. Giggity, goo.
Giggity goo.
Stick around, folks.
But anyways, we'll see you next week
anyway.
for TNA's first show. Until next time, horns high, and we'll see you all later.
Horns, put him in the bag.